Welcome to a special Thursday Reviews episode. Today I'm going to be showing you a video that I never released because it comes from the era of before Thursday Reviews. So I have a whole story on this, but in short, I had a couple of attempts before my actual Thursday Review show started, but I just never got around to editing or doing anything with the videos. And pretty much all the things I reviewed in the old videos, I ended up reviewing for my actual YouTube channel with the real Thursday Reviews. But there is one item that I didn't get to, and that was an Optimus space heater. We have not had these space heaters pretty much since this video because, well, they didn't really last all that long. And so I thought I would show you some really early Thursday Reviews attempt, which came a few weeks before my actual first Thursday Reviews episode. So anyways, enjoy. Welcome to a new episode of Thursday Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing something rather large. It is a space heater from Optimus. So, a little backstory on why we got these. We actually do have an electric furnace, but we don't use it much these days because that heater, or that furnace, is very old. This house, as you can see, is completely filled with wood panels. And so it kind of gives you the clue that we are living in a house from the 70s. That furnace is also from the 70s. It's very old. Very old. The house and the furnace. Which is why we bought these. I mean, if you want an electric bill, hundreds of dollars, then absolutely. Use your furnace that eats up all your money. Or, buy one of these. These things run at 1300 or 1500 watts. Very low power for what they put out. Here it is. It is an Optimus space heater. So it's got two dials on it. So the dial up here says off, fan, 1300 watts or 1500 watts. This heater will run on two different modes. Then this up here is a light that lights up to tell you the unit is on. And down here is kind of a thermostat. It is not the air temperature. Even though it says low-high, you'd think it'd be the air temperature, right? It's not. It's like a thermostat. If you turn this all the way up, well, if you turn it all the way down, it doesn't work. It lights up to say that there's power, but it doesn't work. If you turn it all the way up, then it works. But it's not a very accurate thermostat. It's not like this point right here will always be set to 80 degrees, this point right here will always be 65 degrees. No. It kind of varies on the day and the humidity in the air and all that. Which brings me to a really good point. Do not, for any reason, use a space heater with fancy temperature sensor stuff in a bathroom. Don't ever do it. Because you can actually short the temperature sensor probes together because of the humidity in the air, and you can permanently short your heater. And then you just won't have any working heater because it'll think any temperature is set as too high. So this heater has brackets on the front of it. I'm sure you've seen it. What are these little brackets for on the side? It's for houses like this, where we have carpet for our floors. So when the heater falls over, it lands on the brackets and not on the vent. Another safety feature that this has is a tilting feature. It does not have anything on the bottom. Some heaters will have a peg on the bottom, where when it's standing perfectly upright, like the way it is now, the peg will push in. But as soon as it tilts back, the peg would pop out, which would shut the heater off. This does not have one of those. However, it does still have a tip sensor. And yes, it even works with the fan mode. Oh, and let me tell you right now, I know I'm putting off turning this thing on, but we have 3 different ones of these. One of them we completely killed because we had it in the bathroom and it just shorted the temperature thing, and eventually it started sparking when we turned it on. So just don't put them in bathrooms and it'll be fine. Another one that we have is almost dead silent. It's very quiet. And then there's this one, which is very loud and very rattly. The first one that shorted out and started sparking was quiet, but not as quiet as another one that we have. And I'll show you that one as well. So, if you are looking to buy a very quiet heater, this is not your best bet. If you don't care about the loudness, get one of these. These are actually really good. Though I must tell you, I've had some issues with the temperature sensor, and maybe it's because I have had this in the bathroom before, where it will randomly start shutting itself off and turning itself back on very rapidly. Like it'll go and it'll start turning itself on and off rapidly, which I know is not good for the fan. And you can have it turned up all the way and it'll still do it. I may have messed up the temperature sensor, so just be aware of that. But if we're ready to show you, let's show you the tilt sensor first. Hang on. It might not work on fan. There. You see how when it gets to right here, it shuts off? If you tilt it back. Pretty cool, right? You can also tilt it backwards, and it does the same thing. So you can't actually tilt it backwards. So I mean, you can hear it's pretty rattly. If I turn it down to heat, or if I turn it to 1300 watts, which by the way is very, very low, you'll actually hear the fan speed bump down just slightly. And it's instantly throwing out heat. It's already at its max warmth, which is very, very warm. And you'll notice it starts rattling much louder. That's unavoidable with this thing. But with the one in the other bedroom, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit, it's actually quite nice. And if we switch it to 1500 watts, it's almost no different. It's just slightly warmer air, and it is just 200 more watts of power. So I just keep mine on 1300 watts. The other safety feature of this is the temperature thing. So let's say you had some clothing in front of it or something and it started overheating. The temperature sensor inside would recognize that and it would actually shut it off. And so if you turn this dial down, right there is where it shuts off. Okay, now that point might change in a couple days from now. It might be up here where it shuts off. I mean, it's the most unpredictable part of this whole heater. Actually, this whole thing is somewhat unpredictable, and that's something I want to tell you right now. It's very unpredictable, but these things are actually pretty cheap, and for their price, they're actually really good. You hear this? Hear what that's doing? Sometimes you'll have the dial all the way up here and it'll start making that weird clicking noise, and the heater will start turning itself on and off rapidly. And I do like that it has the fan mode, so that you can use this to, like, when you're done using the heater, you can switch it on to fan only and get the last of the warm air before shutting it all the way off. So what I'm now going to show you is another one of these exact space heaters that we have in a different bedroom that is dead silent. It is super quiet, and it works just as good. Alright, we're in the other room, and it's exactly the same. Let's show you. Put on heat. This thing used to be even quieter than this. And 1500 watt. It's warm. You can actually hear the blades hitting in there. It never used to do that, so just beware. These heaters are very unpredictable in very, very many ways, but they do their job, and they do their job well most of the time. Mine can shut itself off really early, and it can be very cold in my room, but this one works pretty nice. Alright, back in the other room, I have my thermometer here, and we're going to just do an ambient room temperature here of the heater. 74 with the heater. Keep in mind I didn't have this thing on that long ago. So, there we go. So we're going to turn it on now, and I'm going to show you how quickly this thing warms up. This is on the 1300 watts mode. Turn it to 1500 watts. And it's even warmer. It takes about 30 seconds to cool down from full heat to full coolness from when you've had it on. So, all in all, this heater definitely works. And stay tuned every Thursday for more Thursday reviews, where we review something every week. See you then. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look back in time, all the way back to fall of 2017, where I reviewed an Optimus space heater. These things broke pretty quickly. It was partly our faults. All of us that I live with, we each had one. And we used to bring them into the bathroom when we would shower, so that the bathroom would be nice and toasty warm. And it turns out that that's not a good idea at all, because the moisture in the air completely fried the thermostat, and so the units just didn't work very well after that. And so eventually we got other heaters and things, which is why I ended up reviewing that Duraflame heater back on episode 12. I got that thing brand new, and I still have that and still use it. But anyways, I thank you for watching this week's Thursday review, and I'll see you next time.